Welcome to the ACA IELTS series.
Welcome to your ultimate guide to IELTS Listening May 2025, where we'll break down every predicted topic, show you real question types, and give you smart Band 9 strategies that actually work. This session is packed with examples and tips to help you master every section of the listening test. Let's dive in. Let's start with a quick but essential breakdown of the IELTS listening test, because understanding the format is your first step toward mastering it. The test is divided into 4 parts, each one slightly more challenging than the last. Part 1 is usually a conversation in a social context. Think of someone booking a hotel room or making a phone inquiry. Part 2 features a monologue, like a local tour guide giving information or a speaker explaining public services. Part 3 involves a group discussion, often between university students and a tutor, and this section brings in more academic language. Finally, Part 4 is a lecture, a single speaker, no pauses, more advanced vocabulary and topic-specific content. There are 40 questions in total, 10 in each part, and they cover a range of question types. These include form completion, like filling in booking details. Sentence completion, finish the sentence with what you heard. Multiple choice, choose the correct letter A, B, or C. Matching, match speakers to opinions or dates to events. Map or plan labeling, especially in Part 2. Summary completion, often in Parts 3 or 4. You'll have 30 minutes to listen and answer, followed by 10 extra minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet, only if you're taking the paper-based test. If you're taking the computer-based test, your answers are entered during the audio, no extra time is given, so be alert from the start. Here's a smart tip: the audio is played only once, so there are no second chances. But the good news is, the questions are presented in order, so what you hear will follow the sequence on your paper. As we go through the upcoming topics and practice sections, remember this structure, because knowing what to expect helps you focus on how to listen. First, here's what we'll cover today. Travel and tourism, education and academic life, daily activities and routines, work and employment, health and well-being, social issues and current events, technology and innovation, environment and sustainability, and finally, some pro tips to help you score Band 9. Topic 1: Travel and tourism. A common scenario is a tourist booking a hotel room or asking for directions. You'll often hear words like reservation, suite, deposit, or confirmation. Let's listen to a sample.
Hi, I'd like to reserve a single room with an ocean view from the 14th to the 17th of July.
Sure. That's available for 3 nights. That will be $225 total.
Your question might look like a form asking, type of room blank. View, ocean. Dates, July 14th to 17th. Total nights, 3. Cost, $225. Answer? Single, but don't write a single room or you'll lose marks. Always follow the word count and listen for traps like synonyms or plurals. Topic 2: Education and academic life. Expect lectures or student-professor conversations, often with percentages or schedules. You might hear,
Your final grade will be based on a presentation worth 30%, a research paper worth 50%, and class participation at 20%.
and the table might ask. Assessment breakdown. Presentation, blank %. Research paper, 50%. Participation, 20%. Answer, 30. Pay attention to order in connectors like and/or, but that signal changes. Topic 3. Daily activities and routines. These are casual talks between family or friends about chores and plans. Example:
I'll go grocery shopping on Saturday.
I'll handle the laundry and book the plumber.
Matching question time. Tasks. A. Grocery shopping. B. Laundry. C. Booking plumber. Who does what? Anna blank. Mark blank. Answer: Anna, grocery shopping. Mark, laundry and plumber. Don't rely on order, listen for switches or extra sounds that can confuse you. Background noise or side comments can distract, stay focused. Now let's move to topic 4, work and employment. This section usually takes place in HR interviews or employee orientations. Focus on note completion and lists. Listen carefully for keywords like onboarding, probation, shadowing, and duties. For example, in the audio, you might hear,
In your first week, you'll attend the orientation, complete safety training, and shadow a senior employee.
Your question could look like this: new hire tasks, week 1, orientation, safety blank, shadowing. The correct answer is training. Remember, use the exact word if heard clearly, don't overthink it. Topic 5 is health and well-being. Expect settings like medical advice or wellness interviews, with sentence completion as the focus. You'll hear vocabulary like exercise, diet, stress, and symptoms. For example,
I'd recommend at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise 5 times a week.
a question may be, you should exercise for blank minutes 5 times weekly. The answer is 30. Watch out for number-to-word format and comparison clues like at least. Moving on to topic 6, social issues and current events. The context could be a documentary or a news interview. You'll complete summaries using academic vocabulary like pollution, poverty, migration, or resources. An audio might say,
Many developing nations lack infrastructure to manage plastic waste.
the question, developing countries struggle with plastic waste due to a lack of blank. The correct word is infrastructure. Be careful. Words like system may sound right but don't match exactly. Topic 7, technology and innovation brings you into tech seminars or lectures, with sentence completion questions. Keywords include AI, VR, digital divide, and innovation. You might hear,
Virtual reality can enhance education, but may widen the digital divide.
a typical question could be, VR might increase the blank between students. The answer is divide. Watch for contrast words like but or although, they often carry the answer. And finally, topic 8, environment and sustainability. These are often science discussions or expert talks. Expect table completion tasks. You'll hear terms like solar, emissions, renewable energy, and pollution. For instance,
Solar panels are now 40% more efficient than 10 years ago.
the question, efficiency increase for solar, blank. And the correct answer is 40%. Don't ignore units like percent, kg, or liters, they're part of the answer. When preparing for the IELTS listening test, mastering the top 5 strategies can dramatically boost your score. Let us start with the first one: predict answers before the audio starts. This is crucial because, before each section begins, you get 20 to 30 seconds to read the questions, and that time is gold. Use it to guess what type of word you need. Is it a number, a name, a place, a date, a noun, or a verb? For example, if the question says he will arrive at blank, you should predict a time, such as 10 a.m. or 8:30. Or if it asks the cost of the item is blank, expect a number and a currency, for example, £75 or $90. The key is to focus on nouns, dates, and numbers, and avoid guessing full sentences or overcomplicating it. Underline keywords like when, how much, or what kind, and train your brain to listen specifically for those. Now, moving on to the second strategy: stick to word count rules. This cannot be emphasized enough. If the instructions say no more than 2 words and/or a number, and you write a beautiful garden, that is 3 words, and it is incorrect, even if the information is accurate. Let us take some examples. If the question is type of accommodation, blank, and the audio says a double room, then the correct answer is double room without the article a. Or if the question is fee, blank, and the audio says it costs only £20, the correct answers would be £20 or £20, but not only £20. Always be mindful of articles and small words. The safest approach is to double-check the word count before transferring answers to your answer sheet. Strategy number 3 is practice with real accents. IELTS features a range of English accents including British, Australian, Canadian, New Zealand, and American. Many students lose marks simply because they are not used to these variations. For instance, a British speaker might say, "I booked a holiday for the 5th of July, while an American might say, "I got it July 5th, with the month coming first." An Australian voice might say, 5th of July in a flatter tone, which could throw you off if you are unprepared. Even a common word like can't may sound like can't in British English. This is why you must expose yourself to different accents regularly by using podcasts, YouTube videos, and IELTS prep platforms that simulate real tests. The fourth strategy is learn paraphrasing patterns. In IELTS listening, you will almost never hear the exact words used in the question. Instead, they use synonyms or restructured phrases. This is where many students fall into traps. For example, if the question asks, "What is the main cause of pollution?" and the speaker says, "The primary factor contributing to environmental damage is industrial waste," your answer should be industrial waste. Another example, if the question is number of students in the group, and the audio says there are a dozen students, then your answer is 12. Familiarize yourself with paraphrasing patterns. For instance, main reason might appear as primary cause, cheap as affordable, located in as situated at, and starts as kicks off. Always listen with the expectation that wording will be different, and train yourself to recognize these common switches. Finally, the fifth strategy: use IELTS official materials daily. Cambridge IELTS books and official practice tests mirror the exact format and difficulty of the real exam. These materials help you understand distractors, such as when the audio says, "He wanted the red one," no, actually he chose the blue. In this case, the correct answer is blue, not red. Another reason to use official material is to practice spelling sensitive words like accommodation, where even one letter wrong will cost you the mark. Pay attention to language patterns, for example, when you hear however, actually, or instead, those words often introduce changes or corrections. Avoid using unofficial sources with incorrect formats. And during practice, always use the official answer sheet to build habits around spacing, clarity, and time control. Together, these 5 listening strategies, predicting answers, following word count rules, training with real accents, mastering paraphrasing, and using official materials, will give you the edge you need to aim for a Band 9. Practice smart and train your ears with intention. Let us move ahead and continue mastering IELTS one step at a time. Here's a complete IELTS listening sample question including context, audio script, spoken content you'd hear, question type, form completion, questions, answer key, tips. IELTS listening sample, Part 1 form completion. Context: a student is calling a university housing office to inquire about accommodation options. Form completion task. Instructions: complete the form below. Write no more than 2 words and/or a number for each answer. Student housing inquiry form. Name: Daniel Roberts. Date of birth: September 14, 1998. Course: Business and blank. Preferred accommodation type: blank. Weekly rent budget: blank pounds. Move-in date: blank special requirement, needs a room on the blank floor. Audio script: what you hear in the test.
Good morning, University Housing. How may I help you?
Hi, my name's Daniel Roberts. I've just been accepted into the Business and Management course and I'm looking for university accommodation.
Congratulations, Daniel. Let me take a few details. You're doing business and?
Business and Management.
Great. Now, what kind of accommodation are you looking for?
I'd prefer something self-catered. I'd like to cook for myself.
Noted. And what's your weekly budget?
Around £120 a week.
Okay. And when would you need to move in?
Ideally by the 20th of September.
Fine. Any special needs we should be aware of?
Well, I recently had a knee operation, so I'd prefer to be on the ground floor if possible.
Answers: 1. Management. 2. Self-catered. 3. 120. 4. September 20th. 5. Ground. Tips for this task. Listen for synonyms. Budget equals how much can you spend? Use hyphens if needed, example, self-catered. Pay attention to numbers and dates. Don't add extra words, stick to the word limit, maximum 2 words and/or a number. By concentrating on these predicted themes and employing effective preparation strategies, you'll be better equipped to tackle the IELTS listening test in May 2025. Want to master every section of the IELTS listening test and aim for a Band 9? Join thousands of successful students learning with American Council Academia, where we break down each question type with real examples, expert strategies, and practical tips to help you understand native accents, avoid common traps, and build unstoppable confidence on test day. Subscribe now to ACA for weekly lessons, mock test simulations, and insider hacks you won't find in textbooks. Have questions or need personalized feedback? Drop a comment below or message us on Instagram at ACA_global. We're here to help. Don't forget to turn on notifications. Your next Band 9 prep video drops next Saturday. Let ACA be your learning partner, because we don't just teach English, we train you to speak it like a native.